Curse of Nihility is a relatively new type of debuff, first introduced with Lilith from Rise of the Sinister Dominion. It can now be seen in all stages of Rise of the Sinister Dominion, and also in certain stages of Trials of the Mighty. It is a powerful debuff that nullifies all buffs on your team, and prevents buffs from being applied while active. This debuff has some interesting features that set it apart from typical debuffs. Number 1. Curse of Nihility still allows buff zones to be present in the battlefield, but they are unable to provide any buffs. This allows any skills and abilities that count the number of buff zones to remain usable, such as Nevin's second skill and Dragalia Victor's second skill and healing ability. Number 2. Curse of Nihility doesn't prevent shape-shifting, but shape-shifting cannot remove Curse of Nihility. However, when the unit is already in dragon form, when the debuff is applied, the unit does not get inflicted. This applies also to hybrid transformations, but not Dragon Drive and Persona units. Number 3. Curse of Nihility can be cleansed by a cleansing skill, such as Natalia's skill 2. Too bad it is not a shareable skill. Number 4. Passive boosts from Wimprints that do not show up visually are immune to Curse of Nihility. These include HP 70 abilities and Flurry abilities. Other Wimprint abilities that can be seen on top of the skill gauges will be nullified. Number 5. Skills that are modified after shape-shifting will revert back to the original version. This currently applies to Dragalia Zainfried's second skill. Typical stat buffs are susceptible to being nullified by Curse of Nihility. In fact, almost all buffs that improve stats can be nullified. Other nullified abilities include SP Regen, Affliction Punishers, Debuff Chance Up, Wimprint HP Regen, Energy, Inspiration, and also Life Shields. These make most typical buffing support units, 2 of the Gullah Dragons, and Grace, almost entirely useless in the presence of this debuff. There are quite a number of exceptions that cannot be nullified by Curse of Nihility. The first being the boost in elemental damage from reborn dragons, despite the same buff being nullified when originating from units themselves. The second being HP regeneration not originating from Wimprints. Increase in maximum HP, recovery potency up, over damage, and lifesteal are also immune to the debuff. The third being elemental resistance, shields, divergent shields, and damage reduction. However, Gala Chel's 10% damage reduction from her Star of the Dance ability is nullified. Other immune statuses include knockback immunity, altered force strike buffs, skill shift, but with the exception of Summon Orwin, and Strength Amp. These are the general rule of thumb for immunity to Curse of Nihility. However, there are many characters and dragons with unique buffs that are not covered in this segment. From the next segment onwards, I'll list out some units and their affected skills and abilities, and inform about their status while under Curse of Nihility. This segment is quite long, so please do not hesitate to use the timestamps to skip to your element of interest. To summarize, Curse of Nihility is a powerful affliction that can screw you up big time if your main gimmick gets nullified. When going up against enemies with this affliction, it is wise to not bring standard buffing units. Instead, bring strength amp units and debuff units alongside your DPS units to deal with these enemies. Also, when choosing shared skills, bring in debuff/utility skills instead of buffing/typical weapon skills, as the latter has either lowered or zero effectiveness. That's all from me. Moga out.